Hello everybody and welcome back to City Skylines 2 with me, Biffa. Today we are looking at some amazing new mods that have just either been just released for you or are releasing tomorrow on the 10th. These are the extra 3 mods: extra detailing tool, the extra assets importer, both by Triton Supreme, and some new updates to the Anarchy and Better Bulldozer mod by YenYang to go along with those. These are amazing for those of you that love detailing and things like that. They also include a whole load of assets that have been put together by various people, including Sully, CityRat, Tigon, Ologdring, Dome DPS, and BruceyBoy. So we're going to have a look at all of those as well. And yeah, anything I mention is all going to be linked in the description below. And we're also going to be taking a look at the new traffic mod, which is the spiritual successor, we could say, to Traffic Manager President Edition, or TMPE, with at the moment the lane connection tool, which we'll take a dive into. And of course, the mod creator there is Kurzu. Right, let's dive into the new extra mods. So when you first install the mod, you'll have this little option down here, the extra assets, and all these different options that you can look at. So we have some surfaces here that you might be familiar with that we can draw out using the area tool. Some of these are pretty fantastic. Then we also have the decals, which are my favorite section. So we're going to go through some of these, but oh, by the way, if you want to scroll up and down here, you want to get the, I think it's called the Mio hotkeys mod, that allows you to do that instead of clicking on these individual buttons here, which is worth getting. Parking decals, a load there, miscellaneous, road marking decals, there is so much stuff. Numbers, beach, these are just absolutely brilliant. We'll get to those. Stains for your road, wall decor decals, posters and all sorts of things. Let me just pop down a poster to show you these. Let's just find a piece of wall that maybe is a little bit blank. There we go. We're going to grab the Yorkshire Tea poster. We're going to put Anarchy on. We're going to turn off all of the snapping and just put snap to the surface of an object. We'll turn that around. There we go. And yeah, we can sort of plop that on there. There we go. Very basic, but we'll show you how it's all done as we go along. Then we have some graffiti options, we have some grounds decals, we have some road asset decals as well, and then we have net lanes, and these are the things I'm very excited about. These are basically lines that you can draw that work as nets, like when you're putting a road down. So we have some fence net lanes that we'll take a look at. We have some miscellaneous ones, lines, bus lanes, all sorts of things you can use on roads, and road net lanes and lines as well. And these will work with your tool mode, your straights, your curves, and all that sort of thing. So now suddenly perhaps you're seeing how these mods are going to just be fantastic for your city building. And all of these packs have been made available by some of the people that I've mentioned already. They're all going to be made available on PDX mods. And as more people add packs, then you can choose to install them with the extra assets importer. Try and remember the name. Right, let's take a look at some of these then. So there's so much in these mods. I'm just going to pick out some of my favorite things, and then yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots of other videos that cover all sorts of different things. So at the end here we have net lanes. I mentioned here we have some miscellaneous ones. Now these net lanes can be drawn out as you would another network. So I'm just going to have this one here, which is like a bus lane, which you say, you might want on your road. And I'm going to just sort of bring that down here like this, and somebody with a better hand might be able to get that nice and straight for me. And that's what that does. With the new additions to Better Bulldozer, you can pick this option here, which is remove net lanes, and there we go. That'll remove that for you. But what I'm more excited about is the next tab along, which is the fence net lanes. I mean, you can see you've got all lines and all sorts of things here. And I just think these look fantastic. So let's just grab this one here, residential fence. Let's pick somewhere where we might sort of throw something like that in. Here we go, just along here with some of these commercial buildings. And now this will, I've got all the snap twos on, but we can just literally run that along the back there, and it runs out a perfectly lined up fence, which is conforming to the terrain as well, which is great. Of course, you can turn off all your snap twos. There we go. And I just think that is just so easy and just looks absolutely brilliant. And you've got so many different options here. I mean, there's just tons. There's just tons. Every single type of fence. I believe either these are all in the game or they've been added by a pack. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, but there's just so many. And just think of all the detailing that you could do with all of these. Oh, there's more hedges as well. That looks exactly the same as the last one. That's like a shorter one. What's that one? Oh, auto save. A quick sip of tea. But yeah, some of the... Oh, a nice white picket fence. Got to have that in there. That just looks brilliant. We've got some nice industrial fences as well for detailing in your industries. And, of course, these work with all the different tools that we've got. There we go. So you can do curves. You can do the work. So that is, to me, one of the best things out of this. It's absolutely brilliant. And then in the road markings tab that we've got here, I mean, just to give you one example of all of these different lines and dots and things that we've got is, say, this one here. This one here. Even though it's marked as North American Highway Center Line, you could use this as a no parking line down the side here. Something like that. There we go. And again, just a visual thing, but all these different options that you've got. Yield signs. So if you're getting blank, let's turn off my snap twos. So we get the sawtooth marks coming up there, up to the giveaway, perhaps, something like that. But if you think, once people start adding in more packs, we start getting the lines that work in Europe. I mean, a lot of these can be used for that as well, can't they? And maybe some blank roads as well. So now we can start drawing out all of our own road markings and lines and decals. Talking about decals, let's move to the next tab behind the net lanes. And to show off some of these, we're going to use the back of this building down here. It's, in my opinion, facing the wrong direction because you've got the blank back of the wall, but perfect for some of the decals that we've got going on here. So we have got, let's start with the graffitis, always the ones that people want to start chucking around the place. We've got different snapping options, which we didn't have before. Snap to roads, snap to the surface of an object, and snap upright. I tend to turn all of those off. And if we're working on a wall, snap to the surface of an object. And you'll notice that that just snaps straight to there. I think if we go onto the ceiling, it will snap straight onto the roof, I should say. Look at that. We can just snap that anywhere. It is just so easy. And then if you want to move that after you've placed it down, it doesn't work with the move it tool at the moment. But if you select this here, we now have some options for position in here. Now, the way this works is dead easy. So we've selected that. We've got these options here. We can change the increment of the movement. So I'm just going to have that on 1. And then we can just use our mouse wheel button like this. Or that's going the way we're not going to see it. There we go. X and Z is what we want. Of course, we have rotation as well. Ooh, if we just up that a little bit, we'll get more of an idea. There we go. That rotates in all the different directions. And then you can, put that how you want. I think, can you drag it? No, you can't drag it. So you have to use these here. You can also copy and paste the rotation and the position on another tool as well. So if we grab that one and copy it, then let's go down here and pop this one on. There we go. Then select that and paste, and that's going to move up here. There we go. So we might want to get that in the same area, and then we might want to start moving it around. So that just helps get things lined up. But I love the way that works and how so easy it is. And we've got all of these options. Another one that's just fantastic is the wall decor. Why can't I say that? Wall decor decals. That's what I'm trying to say. You might recognise some of these down here. One of my favourites, Yorkshire tea. This is pretty big. This one. I'm not sure I've got a wall that's big enough to put this on, but let's just plop that on the side of the building here. There we go. You can see it's just overlapping everything. But again, we can... let's put that back down to 2 again. We can sort of tweak this to line it up exactly as we want it. And that is looking great. But the really fantastic ones, if we just scroll down a little bit further, look at this. We have some posters down here. So I'm going to pop this one on there. And we've got a small one as well. We'll just pop that next to it. Look at that. And if we just zoom in, let's go into first person mode. Where's it gone? There it is. Look both ways. Look both ways. Yeah, we're fine. And just look at the detail on these. Absolutely brilliant. And as you can see, there's all sorts of posters. Oh my goodness, these are huge. There we go. Excellent. All sorts of posters that we can pop around the place. And there's ones for content creators and some of those that have been working on the pack as well. But what else have we got in here? Why don't we start at the beginning and go through and take a look. So, lettering. I mean, this is... Let's just scroll that around there. I mean, if you really wish to spell out, there we go, your own parking signs, which are going to be very wonky. There we go. But of course, you know, we know how to line those up now. Parking, excellent. Then you've now got that option, which is great. All sorts of letters and, yeah, more, I'm sure, things like that are going to be added later. Then we've got our decals as well for parking. So there we go. We could have just used that parking sign. That might have been a little bit better. But all sorts of options here. Here we go for service vehicles. I mean, you can just go mad, can't you? And do that yourself. And of course, you might want to remove the ones that are already in here. Well, we've got these options, haven't we, in Better Bulldoze. So we go to sub-elements. We might want to remove... Is it going to remove all of them? Yeah, I believe it will. That's fine. And then we could go in here and we're going to say, no, all of those are going to be for service vehicles instead. So now we can start really tweaking each of the individual buildings, which is just nuts. And there's so many options. We've got truck parking. Oh, you can see. Oh, these as well. Oh, brilliant. Oh, these will be good for... Ooh. Yeah, areas like this. Let's see. If we do that one. Yeah, not quite lined up right, but you get the ideas. We can sort of fake a yellow box that you don't want to go into. I like that. But then, yeah, so many other options in there. We've got so many more to go. Let's not stop. Let's continue. So we've got all of these large decals as well, which you can then use for decorating around your place. Let's have a look. Let's say that this little area here was going to become an American football field. No, it's going to become tennis courts. There we go. So you might want to pop a tennis court down. You might then want to go back to grab a nice fence to go around that. There we go, and then extremely hastily thrown together, we've got a tennis court in the middle of where our water tower is, around the back, using some of all of these assets that are now available to us. And of course, I was using the Find It mod there as well to find some of the extra ones. Okay, what else do we have available to us? So much more to go through. So if you want to detail up some roads with the Better Bulldozing mod, you can remove sub-elements from roads. So we can get rid of some of these arrows and things in here. We've got the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. Let's get rid of those. I don't think we can get rid of the lines down the middle. Oh, we can get rid of the traffic lights apparently as well. Very good. And then we could put in here some of our own road markings, which would work really well. So let's have a look here. If we had this one, we could say that this one is going to be... This is visual only, don't forget. We'd obviously have to use other mods to make that work exactly as we wanted it. Yep, there we go. So we could then say this one over here is going to go right. This one is going to go left. There we go. We get the idea with that. And we're going to give them a super boost to their speed. We can say, if you're coming down here, you can do 120. Why not? There we go. Why not? Well, actually, that probably wouldn't be a very good idea, but... But as well as all of the different road markings we've got, I mean, there is literally... I mean, there's just so many. We could say that this is a truck lane only. We're going to take that one, and that is just going to be a truck lane. We can say that this one is just going to be for taxis, and then everybody's going to totally ignore that as they go past. We can add to our right turn only lane some text so they really get that it's a right turn only lane. Again, so many options we can add in here. Oh, I love these lines, and of course we can get those with this one, and I think I've got the right one there. Nope. There we go. We can all line those up down the outside. Double yellow lines, no parking. Yeah, so many options. The next one along has got some numbers, but I want to skip down here to the road asset decals. We'll come back to the ones that I've skipped. And now we're starting to find some really interesting ones. So with these, I'm going to set it like that, and I'm going to set it to snap upright. There we go. That's the one I want. Snap to surface, I think, works fine. You can do snap upright as well. But now we can start adding in... Oh, look at that. Potholes. We've got large potholes, small potholes. If I turn off DLSS, we don't get that sort of smearing that we were getting before. But, I mean, suddenly the detail on this road is just looking fantastic. This road is in really bad repair. So the difference between that and this is just, I mean, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? What we can now add to these things. And then, of course, each of these is available to move around, to adjust, to rotate, to do everything that you want to do, like with every single other decal and asset that we've been adding to. And then we can jump from this menu over to my next favorite menu, the stains menu. And we've got these, these options here are really, really good. So let's get actually a smaller one. We're going to have that upright as well. And now we can start adding these. Let's go for, which one? This one here. So this can be almost as if the vehicles are skidding away. I just want to get that lined up. There we go. From this line and leaving all of these nasty stains along here. But as you can see, there's so many different options that we could use here. In fact, I'm going to go for that, and then I'm going to swizzle it around, and I'm going to add one there as well, and then I'm going to add a smaller one on there. Oh, it just looks great, doesn't it? Just that level of grime on things really suddenly makes it so much more realistic. What's going on? Do you mind keeping it down, please? I'm a little bit busy. Well, I'll tell you what, to show off some of these other items that we've got in here, why don't we decorate something that is very close to my heart? A custom-made roundabout. And to help us with decorating this, we are going to use a few tools. Hopefully I've got these unlocked. Let's have a look. Road services, yes, traffic lights. So we're going to remove all the traffic lights that have been added at various spots around here. And I'm just wondering, actually, we could extend these roads out to have bigger lanes. I'm trying to just think about the lane mathematics, because this is 3 lanes going round, but we've got 2 lanes coming on, so actually we could increase the lanes. Yeah, we'll upgrade it to a 5 lane. There we go. So we've got 3 coming round, and then these 2 here that are going on as well. Excellent. And of course we'll just remove all the random crossings that have been put in every time we've got a new type of road, just to make it a little bit safer for our poor pedestrians. So what we could do then, where these lanes come up to here, we could just sort of mark it out as if these 2 are going round to the left, and this one is if you want to come off and merge into those 2 lanes. So we can get our bulldoze tool back again. We can click. Oh, that was going to take all of them away. Okay, that's fine. So then we can go back to our arrows, handily marked on here. So we could say we'll have that one for coming back around again, like so. Maybe we'll have the same with the middle one as well. And then I want to see if there's a layer. There we go. That is perfect. So we're going to have that one, which is going to go to the left, or it's going to merge off to the right. Then we could do something similar with the road coming on. We could say that that one goes off to the right. This one is going to go to the right, or you can merge around to the left as well. So we're going to do something like that. Although that looks a little bit confusing. Maybe have that. I mean, that's probably not totally accurate, because you don't want to see that and go left, but you get the idea anyway. And then we could sort of, do you know what, that really doesn't look safe at all, does it? I'm going to change that one. And of course, to remove one that you put down, I did this deliberately so I could show you. You select it, this little box pops up, and you can delete it like that. That makes more sense, doesn't it? So then instead, I would do a straight on there, and then it's not until you get down perhaps to this bit here that we could then change this middle one that's hidden by the road name. We could say that one's going to come off, or join those 2. I mean, it depends. You could play with that how you like. But there we go. That's how you can change maybe these decals that are on the road. Now, this is where these other road marking net lanes could come in handy, because if we go back to the normal roads menu and add in the give way sign, it's sort of a bit wonky here, isn't it? I don't like the way that one's set up. So I'm going to draw one in myself. With this being sort of an American setup that we've got here, you could use, there we go, the sawtooth one, although they seem to give way more up there if they're changing lanes, but that could work. Or if you were going for more of a British look, you've got these other ones here that are the dotted line. You could maybe just draw a couple of those in. That is a little bit too far apart, isn't it? Let's see if any of these other ones are a little bit closer together. Yeah, maybe that one there will be okay. And if you've got a couple of those across here, like so, there we go. And that makes your own giveaway lines coming onto the roundabout. Right, so let's do a little comparison. This is what the junction would look like before. Obviously, we've removed the traffic lights and the crossings and things like that. This is what it would look like afterwards. Here we go. So lots of decals and details and things being used on this road to dirty it up, to put the signs in, you know, which way the road's going, the crossings. I've used some of the beach decals as well to really add some details here. Like there's a load of dirt and dust being thrown up on a piece of road that isn't used very often. This central section here, this is all different beach and riverbed items as well. So I've just drawn those out there to fill that in and thrown a few bushes and a couple of trees in there. And then we can see just the muck and the dirt and the nonsensical arrows that I've just thrown down just because we're showing off the mod, but you'd certainly get the idea of how this would work. And yeah, I think that is looking absolutely brilliant. I've done the same here. A few cracks, potholes, lots of dirt and things in the middle to really show that it isn't being used. So again, if we just go back over to the one that hasn't been touched, it's all clean, pristine, no marks at all. I don't like these sort of bendy arrows, but then if you go over to the one that we've played with, looking a lot dirtier, muckier. Oh, I'm really liking that a lot. So now I'm going to do a little bit of detailing here on our medical clinic, which I think is just completely facing the wrong way. So let's just pick that up, turn it round this way, make sure we get it to fit in correctly, hopefully. That's all right, we've got the Move It mod. Oh, that's not the Move It mod. Press M, there we go. We're just going to drag that over to there. Excellent. We'll remove the little items that we put in before, and we'll come up with some graffiti and detailing around the back. So let's just do a quick comparison. This is the normal medical clinic. Look how clean it all is. Nothing going on around the back. Everything's fine. Looking good, looking good. This is the one that we've used 1 or 2 decals on. Okay, we're going to start out the front. We've got some no parking, lots of dirt and stuff on the road. I think that's my favourite thing. Some access parking there for disabilities, wheelchair use, electric parking, no parking back here. Lots of dirt and grime out the back. This is a medical clinic I would not want to come to. But yeah, the graffiti, the dirt coming out the door, the muck. Oh, it all looks a bit, yeah. Had a few spillages around here as well. But we've got some posters advertising some local YouTubers and asset makers. Fantastic. And oh, they're coming to sit here with their dog, but it's all a bit mank. Yeah, car parking's all a bit untidy as well. Lines have all disappeared here. Not looking good. Not looking good. But make sure you slow down when you're going, because you don't want to make it look any worse. It's so bad they've sunk into the concrete there. So there we go. So just before we finish up, let's have a look at the traffic light mod, which we've got. So if in the past you've used the traffic light enhancement mod, then this will import data from that. But this is the start of the new TMPE, Traffic Manager Present Edition mod. And you can see at the minute, we have our lane connection tool, and that's it. That's all we've got to play with at the minute. So we can basically play with this as much as we like. And one of the things I quite like to do is to turn off that option there. So that is turning around, U-turns. That's one way that we can do it. We can remove all the connections, so now people are just not going to know what to do, and the cars are all going to back up and freak out. We can reset that back to vanilla if we wish. We can remove U-turns with one click of the button. We can also remove unsafe. So the game is saying that this one counts as an unsafe one. There we go, so we'll remove that so they'll stick to the lane. Or, of course, you can set this up exactly as you like. So we can see this one here is only set for turning right. If we added on that went straight ahead, it now adjusts that lane accordingly. We could then say, well, that one could go to both lanes. That would be fine. And yeah, basically that is how the tool works. So if you have any roundabouts that you've made yourself, like this one, because at the minute it doesn't work on the pre-built roundabout. So if we grab this here, and that is just sort of going all over the place, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is remove all the unsafe ones first of all. So that's basically just giving you, yeah, that option there. And then of course we want some of these lanes to be able to do different things. So if we grab the next little junction over here, I want to be able to get these. Oh, they are actually going from lane to lane. Yeah, so that's fine. That is what we want. Yeah, very good. I mean, we might say we want that one to be able to go out into there. We might say we want that one to go out into there, so they don't have to change lanes in between the nodes. You could do that. On the junction that we set up, where was that? Over here. We had this one here merging, didn't we? So we could do that. We could say here, yeah, you can go up to there if you wish. You can go over to there, so they'll change lanes. So all sorts of options with this. I'm very pleased that that is the start of the Traffic Manager mod. I can't wait to see. Yeah, we go. Look at that. We don't want U-turns in there. We're going to remove those. Oh, for some reason it's not removing them. Oh, it counts that as an unsafe one. We'll remove those. Yes, I can't wait to see what else is added to this mod. So just a little warning as well, perhaps I should have mentioned this at the beginning, that if you're using any of the options to add assets to your game at all, so whether that's this mod or other mods or other asset importers that might come up in the future, please beware that when Colossal Order actually officially add assets to the game, this could all break. So whether it does or it doesn't, or whether something's worked out along the way to import things or fix things or whatever, but just beware that if you're doing this to any of your saved games, you could lose it when official asset support is added. But we don't know when that is. It could be a while away. And for the moment, I think this is fantastic. And I can't wait to see any new packs that are going to be added. I think it's going to be very exciting. So let me know what you think in the description below. What's your favorite part of what you've seen? Any questions you have as well, be sure to chuck it down there, and subscribe for some more city building games, not just City Skylines 2, all sorts of things. Timberborn, Auction not included, lots of Manor Lords, City Skylines 1 and 2 as well, and anything else that comes up that I fancy. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your support. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.